security, especially as the aide-de-camp of our first president. And secondly, it is because he mentored me when I served under him in the office of the president. Anything good you see in me, attribute it to him. I know he has said some very kind words about me. He has said many things about what his understanding of the relationship that we had. But I must confess that I had a really wonderful relationship with Marsden when I served under him as his assistant minister at the office of the president. And I didn't get to know much about before. But he has said several things about my relationship with the former president, President Moi. He has said only as a historical record, but also as a guidebook for principle. He has ensured that future generations will understand where we came from and the sacrifices that built the Kenya we hold dear today. Before I make my remarks in conclusion, allow me to say a few things, because these are moments that will never come back. We will not have another occasion like this for somebody with the stature of Marsden Madoka to speak about his perspective of where Kenya came from, what he thinks worked for us, what he thinks could have been made better. And he has given us a perspective that comes to the heart of how government evolved in Kenya. I am privileged that he has also said a few things about me. And let me just reiterate that he has said a few things about when I first was elected as a member of parliament, I was not in very good books with the Kanu government at that time, although I was a Kanu member of parliament. And that is the reason why Madoka says I was very outspoken. And let me give a perspective, Marsden, and I tried to explain to you that time, that when I did not decide, actually, I don't know, I did not decide that I was going to run. But one thing led to another, and then I found myself running for a member of parliament. And of course, Kanu was the dominant party, and President Moi was a very strong leader. And so when I decided to run, I wasn't the favorite for the Kanu party. There were senior people, there were people whose brands were known, and I was really the underdog, and people didn't know me. We didn't have a history of any leadership in our family. And the closest, in fact, I remember during the campaign, for people to understand who I was, I had to make reference to one of our neighbors. I said, oh, you know that Mzee Paul Boit, he was formerly a chairman of the county council in Uasin Gishu, and he was a fairly wealthy person. So I used to say, I am a neighbor of Paul Boit. That is the closest I came to in terms of brand. And so the reason why I was fairly outspoken initially was because I felt I hadn't been treated well by both Kanu and the leader of Kanu then, the former President Moi, who later became a very good friend of mine after he understood me. So when I ran in the Kanu elections, the Kanu machine was really against me. And Moi himself came to Eldoret and told people, please, elect people who are known. And he mentioned the name of our former member of parliament. He was called Saina. He mentioned the name of another very wealthy and known person called Chesire. And he said, I understand there are some characters running around here, you know, and we don't know them. So be very careful. So, and I was in the crowd there, you know, okay. So, but it didn't deter me. I ran, and finally I defeated these big people in the Kanu nominations. So then we were all Kanu now nominees. Then President Moi came to Eldoret for the presidential rally. Now I have been nominated. We were 3 people nominated in Uasin Gishu. So then President Moi is there and he says, okay. He, of course, campaigned, asked for his votes, and then he said, okay, and there are people who have been elected here, members of parliament. In fact, one of the members of parliament, one of the 3, had been elected unopposed. He was called Mr. Tarar. So he said, thank you very much. You have elected Mr. Tarar unopposed. And then there was another teacher there. He had also been nominated. And then myself. And so when it came to me, he said, then there is this other one who, I don't know his parents. And, but anyway, he has been, because he has been nominated,